Hi, I would like to talk to you about something's on my mind. I've been working with ChatGPT to expand upon my expand upon the religious text of my fictional religion of Smurfism for the EMPATH, Luckiest Smurf series, and ChatGPT-generated was basically the Smurf Torah. Um, is called the Covenant of the Village. And I would like to share with you both its prologue. Well, I call it preamble, and I'll, also book one of the of the Covenant of the Village. So here goes. The Covenant of the Village, the mythic prologue of the first breath in the great current. Before there was the village, before there were elders or laws, there was the great current. It flowed unseen through forest and field, through root and river, through stone and storm. And the current moved not in chaos, but in harmony. For the breath of Mother Nature, From the breath of Mother Nature, and within the keeping of Father Time, life arose, small, bright, and aware. Thus came the first Smurf, not fashioned for isolation, nor formed for dominion, but shaped for belonging. Each was given breath, each was given craft, each was given the freedom to build or to break. The current flowed through them, but did not bind their will. Some learned to move with it, and harmony followed. Some pushed against it, and storm followed. And the village was born not from perfection, but from the decision to dwell together. From For the Smurfs learned, strength without restraint becomes destruction, freedom without wisdom becomes fracture, abundance without mercy becomes greed, and authority without humility becomes storm. So they gathered in council. They remembered the rhythm of the current. They listened for the quiet breath beneath their own, and they spoke the covenant, not to imprison life, but to guard it. The covenant was not older than the current, nor stronger than time, but it was necessary for those who forget. For every Smurf carries within him the seed of harmony and the seed of storm. Law restrains the storm, wisdom directs the strength, mercy restores what pride is broken. Thus the 7 books were set in order, that identity may precede rule, that conduct may guard the heart, that justice may protect the innocent, that provision may be shared, that families may endure, that elders may restrain power, that restoration may prevent despair. And it was said, the covenant does not create harmony, it preserves it. The current still flows, Father Time still advances, Mother Nature still breathes, and the village endures when Smurfs remember that they are not the source of life, but participants in it. Therefore, open the covenant with humility, read it not as stone, but as river banks, for when the banks hold firm, the waters give life, but when pride breaks the banks, even clear water becomes flood. So let each Smurf choose to move with the current or to fight it. For the current cannot be conquered, only joined, and harmony belongs to those who remember. So let's look at Book 1 of Being a Smurf. Of Origin of Breath. A Smurf is not born into the village, but yet a Smurf is born into the village, yet belongs also to the great current. Life is received, not manufactured, therefore is not to be despised. Each Smurf bears a craft, temperament, and a measure of strength distinct from another. No 2 Smurfs are formed alike, yet each is necessary to the harmony of the whole. To reject one's own nature in envy is to resist the current that shaped you. A purpose. A Smurf does not live for himself alone. The measure of a Smurf's life is not found in accumulation but in contribution. The village thrives when each fulfills his craft with sincerity. Idleness that burdens others without cause weakens the bonds of harmony. To strengthen another is to strengthen oneself. Of equality and dignity. No Smurf shall exalt himself above another in worth. Difference in skill does not create difference in dignity. The quiet Smurf and the celebrated Smurf share equal breath. Mockery of weakness is an offense against the village. Honor shall not be hoarded by the few, but shared in recognition of many. Of freedom and restraint. A Smurf is free to act, but not free to destroy. Freedom without restraint becomes storm. Restraint without freedom becomes stone. True liberty flows within the banks of wisdom. The laws of morality are not chains, but boundaries of the river. Of relationship. No Smurf is formed for isolation. Joy increases when shared, sorrow lightens when spoken. To withdraw and healing's permitted, to withdraw and contempt is not. When conflict arises, restoration shall be sought before separation. The village is a covenant, not a convenience. A pride and humility. Pride whispers that one stands alone. Humility remembers that every gift was first received. A Smurf who believes himself indispensable has already forgotten the current. Correction accepted strengthens character, correction rejected hardens it. The strongest Smurf is the one who can kneel without shame. Of time and legacy. Father Time carries each Smurf forward, whether he wills it or not. Let each day be lived so that tomorrow need not be hidden from. The deeds of one generation shape the peace of the next. Memories not for regret alone, but for learning. A Smurf's truest legacy is the harmony he leaves behind. So here's the closing declaration. Therefore remember, you are a Smurf, formed with breath, placed among others, carried by the great current. Live not as a storm against a village, nor a stone unmoved by it, but as living water within it. For identity precedes law, and belonging precedes judgment. And that's pretty much the first book of the Covenant of the Village. I mean, if we want to look at some of these, I mean, in the origin and breath, that pretty much says apart what a Smurf is. I mean, second part of purpose. Talking about what a Smurf is born into the world for. I mean, third part is talking about equality and dignity. I mean, each Smurf has equal value with each other. I mean, fourth part is talking about freedom and restraint. It's just that every Smurf is free to act, but not free to destroy. I mean, and of course, and fifth part is of relationships. I mean, no form is formed for isolation. I mean, that that reflects what is said in what is said in the Bible. When God's first formed man, He said, "Man should not be alone. I'll make him a helper comparable to him," and also that two are better than one, because one can be overcome, two can withstand, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. And the sixth part is pride and humility. I mean, this speaks on the issue of on the issue of pride. Every Smurf deals with the issue of pride. I mean, it's like pride whispers that one stands alone, and humility remembers that every gift was first received. I mean, Bible also speaks against pride. I mean, here in the Proverbs that pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And I mean, and also before honor comes humility. And the seventh part is of time and legacy. I mean, basically, Father Time carries each Smurf forward whether he wills it or not. Let each day be lived so tomorrow ye not be hidden from. I mean, basically what it said. Basically, remembering what it says in Ecclesiastes, what your hands find to do with all your might, because you're going to be heading to the grave, and there's no work or wisdom in the grave to where you're going to end up, and that's and that's pretty much all there is for book one of the Covenant of the Village. So I'm gonna probably be sharing the other six books of the Covenant over the coming days. So stay tuned if you want to hear more about the Covenant of the Village. So have a wonderful day, and may God bless you.